Hello everyone, and welcome to another very beautiful chess game of Paul Morphy. And in this game, Paul Morphy has the black pieces, and his opponent is Hiram Kennicott. And this game has been played in New York in 1857. And Hiram Kennicott starts the game with playing e4, e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, d4, the Scotch game, e takes on d4, bishop to c4, bishop to c5, defending on d4, and Hiram Kennicott played knight to g5, attacking on f7. Paul Morphy is defending with the knight, and then Hiram Kennicott captures the pawn with the knight. Knight takes knight, bishop takes knight, and then king takes bishop, sacrificing the bishop temporarily. So Hiram Kennicott played queen to h5, check, g6, and then queen takes bishop. An explosive opening by Hiram Kennicott against Paul Morphy, and we also saw a similar opening by Alexander Beaufort Meg against Paul Morphy, but in that game Alexander Beaufort Meg lost the game. Paul Morphy played d6, attacking the queen, queen to b5, rook to e8, lining the rook with the king, and after this move, Hiram Kennicott castled. And in this position, it looks like white king is safe, and on the other hand, Paul Morphy's king is little exposed. Paul Morphy captures the pawn with the rook, queen to d5, check, also attacking the rook, so Paul Morphy played rook to e6, bishop to g5, attacking the queen, queen to e8, f4, king to g7, unpinning the rook, f5, g takes on f5, queen takes on f5, rook to g6, bishop to f6, that's check, king to g8, queen to f4, bishop to h3, and this pawn is pinned. Paul Morphy is attacking on g2, bishop to g5, blocking the rook, and then Paul Morphy wants to simplify the game, and Paul Morphy played queen to e3, that's check, queen takes queen, d takes on e3, and this passed pawn is going to cause lots of problems to Hiram Kennicott. So we have g takes on h3, and then Paul Morphy captures the bishop with the rook, that's check. And where is the king going? The only move, king to h1, and it's black to move, and Paul Morphy played a killer move. And can you guess the next move of Paul Morphy? Well, Paul Morphy simply played e2, pushing the e-pawn, and how to stop the pawn. Hiram Kennicott desperately played rook to e1, and then knight to d4, attacking on c2. How to defend? We have knight to a3, trying to defend with the knight, but let's take it back. If c3, of course, knight to c2, what a desperate position. And what else? If rook to c1, of course, black can simply capture the pawn. And if rook takes knight, of course, e-pawn, promoted to a queen, that's checkmate. So that's a horrible position for white. We have knight to a3, trying to defend on c2. And Paul Morphy played a move, and white resigned. Paul Morphy played rook to e8, and white is losing all the hopes because there is no defense after this position. And let's demonstrate the possible continuation. If c3, then simply knight to f3, rook takes on e2, rook takes rook, and it's all over for white. And what else? Maybe h4, then rook to f5, Rook from e to c1, e-pawn promoted to a queen, rook takes queen, knight takes rook. It's over again. So that's why after move 24, after Paul Morphy played rook to e8, Hiram Kennicott resigned. And another very beautiful chess game by Paul Morphy. And I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. And I hope to see you next time. Take care.